Hi everyone, Grace Melody here, welcome back to my channel, and today it is another vlog. I'm going to be doing my makeup and talking, and then I'll be showing some little cute videos at the end, but I just wanted to give a little trigger warning. In this video I am going to be talking a lot about death and dealing with death, so if that makes you uncomfortable then please do skip this vlog. I just wanted to put the little warning in there because the last thing I would want to do is make anyone uncomfortable. I just kind of wanted to get it off my chest, and you know, maybe it'll help someone else who's going through the same things I am. So yeah, here's the video. Woohoo! Okay, first vlog where I'm doing makeup, and I know there's a ring light in my glasses, but I'm going to be taking the glasses off in a minute, and well, yeah, going to be doing makeup. So I just kind of like, I don't know, I feel like I wanted to just talk about what happened like over my Christmas and New Year, and I don't know, I felt a bit awkward just sitting down in front of a camera and talking, so I figured why not just talk while I do my makeup. It might feel a bit more natural to me, and yeah, I don't know, it just seemed like the right thing to do. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started and then we'll talk. So like, obviously like I had my trigger warnings in the beginning of the video, but like once again, if you're uncomfortable with this kind of subjects then please do skip this vlog, you know. It's gonna be kind of heavy, I guess, and I don't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. So just be ready to like hear me talk about like, well, death and that kind of thing. So yeah, we're gonna start now. So my grandmother had been ill. I mean, to be fair, she's been ill for like 2 years now, but she got really ill in like August, September-ish, and we kind of didn't expect her to get better because, as horrible as it sounds, she's been so unwell for 2 years, and in summer it got to the point where she had to live downstairs, like she couldn't get upstairs anymore after a fall. And yeah, like she was just living in one room and like she couldn't really do much on her own, so we were kind of, as awful as it sounds, like we were expecting the worst. And yeah, so like, as hard as it sounds, like we knew like there wasn't gonna be like that much longer. I kept putting off going home because well, she got taken into hospital but we couldn't go and see her, so I was putting off going home because my mum was unwell as well and I didn't want to be a burden. Like obviously if she already feels unwell, I didn't want to be there just like bugging her. So I was really putting off going home to see my family, and I was meant to be going home on I think December the 14th, and it was really stressful because at the beginning of December that's when we started getting the phone calls like, oh, we don't think she's gonna make it, she might not make it overnight, and then the next day she'd be fine. But unfortunately on December 11th she did pass at 6 AM, so she chose the time. I actually hadn't been to sleep yet that night. I was having trouble. I just kind of like, I felt like I couldn't sleep, and I wasn't sure why, but it just felt like I couldn't go to sleep. And then it was like bang on 6 when I was like, I can't sleep. And then at 20 past 6, that's when my mum rang me. The thing like that really sucked was like my mum was really ill. Like she'd just got out of hospital herself. Both her and my grandma had unfortunately been infected with COVID, which that's not like why she was ill. Like I said, she's been ill for 2 years, but because obviously mum had it, that's part of the reason why they couldn't go see her. So mum was like devastated because, I don't know, she was kind of hoping that grandma would hold on long enough for us to see her, but obviously that didn't happen. And I feel like in a way she like, I don't know, I still feel like she felt guilty to an extent, and Mum, if you're watching this, sorry for assuming, but I don't know, I really, I wasn't sure like what to say in that position, because my mum kind of like, she's not the kind of person to be very vocal about how she feels, like she does keep a lot to herself, so it was difficult for us to kind of well, deal with her being emotional, because me and my dad have never seen it. So on December 11th, obviously got the phone call at 6:20. I think I spoke to my brother. I can't remember if I spoke to him the night before or on the day, but I spoke to my brother because obviously my mum was devastated. She wasn't in the right frame of mind to be calling people, because she was really breathless as well. She was struggling to keep her breath. So I spoke to my brother and sort of said, you know, it's happened. And we agreed that I'd go home the next day on the 12th, which I was gutted about. I really wanted to just ask Mum, like, please can I come home today? But obviously I didn't know what she was feeling. I didn't know like if she was mentally prepared for that. Like I just didn't know. So I didn't ask, and then I think it was like 4 p.m. Obviously still haven't slept. About 4 p.m. that's when she rings me and she's like, we're picking you up tonight. So I'm like, oh, okay, I've not packed anything. So bear in mind I only live like 2 hours away from them, so I had like 2 hours to pack, and I was like, oh god, how am I going to do this? It usually takes me 2 hours just to pack to go to a con. But surprisingly, you know, I was fine. I did it. Also, I think I'm going to wear purple today, because I want to try my new little purple lipstick. So I'm going to try purple. So yeah, like, it just kind of, it shocked me, but I managed to get ready surprisingly fast. Especially considering I was taking 2 PCs home, because I got a new PC in November and I was giving my mum the old one. So I was taking mine and the one I was giving Mum's. But yeah, she came and she picked me up on the 11th, the day that it all happened. And unfortunately we didn't really get to do anything for like a week, because there was just, it took forever for the funeral home to get her body, because of all the COVID procedures, because like I said, even though she was already ill, technically she did still have COVID when she passed. So they had to go through all the procedures, like there was like extra stuff. Obviously I don't know the full details, I'm not a nurse, but all I know is that like it was kind of stressful. And the worst bit to me is that we couldn't go see the body, which I know a lot of people don't like to do that, but personally I really like to see the body. Like, it helps me feel at peace, and unfortunately we couldn't. So between like the 11th and Christmas there wasn't much that was done. We went to visit, so my grandma was getting buried with her first husband, which died when my mum was young, so I never met him, so I'll call him by his name, Christopher. And if I say granddad, I mean the granddad I grew up with, which was her second partner, Derek. We went to see Christopher's grave because they were getting buried together. And it's like a tradition because his birthday was the 24th of December, so every year my mum and her brother would go and like place a wreath on it every Christmas Eve. But we decided to do it a few days early, just like because the funeral was on the 29th and we weren't sure when they were going to be like disturbing it. So we went on, I think it was like the 20th or something, it was a few days before, and they already had the stuff out, like the big thing that they put over the graves once they're dug out. So we didn't leave the wreath there, we just kind of took a picture with it. Yeah, that was pretty much it. We took the picture with it and then we took it home. It was definitely strange because it's also the last time we ever seen that headstone, because the headstone had been there for like 40 years, so obviously it was really old. So obviously a new headstone's being ordered, so it was really surreal. And then came like Christmas, which was definitely the worst Christmas ever. So the reason it was difficult for me was because Grandma always came to our house for Christmas, and I let her have my bedroom every year, so she would sleep in my room, which meant I had to take the sofa. And she always woke up like really early because she went to bed early. So every morning, like, she'd come down at like 7 or 8 and she'd wake me up, and every Christmas morning for like the past like 7 years or something, we would just have this really like deep talk on Christmas morning. And it sounds silly, but like that is, I always knew like that was going to be the thing that I missed the most. So the fact that that happened before the funeral was like really hard. Because, you know, she'd always come down, wake me up really, really early. I'd only been in bed for like an hour or two. And we'd just talk. We'd go outside so she could have a smoke. And we'd just talk about really deep things. And she was actually like one of the first people like I spoke to like about my sexuality. Like, this is what I'm saying, like we talked about like really serious stuff. And like she'd tell me about when she was growing up, and she was like she was really helpful for me. Like, even though I'm one of the lucky people who can speak to my siblings and my mum and dad about stuff, she was like usually the first one that like I told about a lot of stuff. And she was like the one person that like made Christmas like a big thing for me. So not like I don't mean like, oh, my parents never did anything at Christmas as a child. I mean like over like the past few years where I became a bit more of a Grinch, she was the one who adored Christmas. She loved everything to do with it, and she made like me and Mum put all the decorations up. So she's like the reason we celebrated it. That's what I mean. I'm not trying to say like, oh, I had terrible Christmases. I just mean like a lot of it was for her, and it made it fun for all of us. And it was really difficult. I woke up super early on Christmas morning and I went outside and I just kind of stood there. Because usually Christmas it's like just like us four, like my mum, my dad, me and Grandma. So this year, I mean obviously there was precautions anyway, but this year we invited my other grandma to come over because she usually spent Christmas with someone else, but he wanted to do it like with someone else this year. And apparently she spent it alone last year, and like we were so sad when we found that out. So she didn't want to come at first because she didn't want to like feel like she was intruding. But I literally like said to her, I was like, I would really love it if you came. Like, it'd make it a lot easier for me. And it did. It was really nice. Obviously it wasn't the same and it wasn't a replacement or anything, but it was nice not having a gap, if that makes sense. It was nice in a different way because obviously they're different people. But other than that, Christmas itself wasn't too bad. We didn't really celebrate. It was just kind of, oh, here's gifts, here's a nice meal, another day. Boxing Day, again, pretty quiet. 27th, it was good. The 27th is my dad's birthday, so it was a good day. And then I think 28th is when it really like hit all of us, oh god, the funeral's tomorrow. And that's like when it started feeling super real. So like the entire like planning the funeral process, luckily she'd like specified a lot of what she wanted. So Mum and my uncle didn't have to do too much. Not as much as it could have been anyway. So that was really helpful. But I picked both of the photos which are on the funeral booklet, so I'm really happy that I got to like contribute that, because I mean obviously like I'm experienced in graphics design and photography and stuff and PCs, so I was like the only person who really was able to go through all of like my granddad's like files and stuff, because he was really into photography. Also, this is weird looking. It looks a lot better in person. I'm like, what happened? I need to blend it out a bit more, I think. But yeah, it just... Yeah. it was nice being able to like contribute something like that, like instead of it being like, oh, I want to help more but I can't. It was nice being able to actually like give something and be a part of it. My cousin picked the final song, which is Dancing in the Sky by Danny and Lizzie. I'd never heard of it, but it's like totally perfect. It's a really good funeral song. I still listen to it like every day. And yeah. Okay, I can work with this. And then, well, the day of the funeral was obviously very emotional. It did snow, which I kept saying it was gonna snow because she loved snow and it'd just be typical. Obviously we didn't want it to because like people were travelling. Luckily everyone managed to make it. I was really worried about my brother being able to make it because he lives in Manchester and like this is all in Lancashire, this is happening. So I was like really worried, but luckily he managed to make it. They cancelled his accommodation due to the guidelines, so he couldn't stay, but he managed to come for the day and that was like what really mattered. So that was really good. Is that a bit better? I think that's a bit better. I obviously went a bit too ham with the eyeshadow. I was just really excited to see the colours because this is the first time I've used the pinks and purples and they're really pretty. But I obviously went a bit too overkill. But yeah, I was just really glad that he managed to make it because that was the one I was really worried about because like the rest of us like were relatively local. We could only have 22 people in the ceremony, which was really strange because like even though she's been ill for like a few years, like she still knew a lot of people and a lot of people loved her because she was like a very family oriented person. This looks awful. Oh my god, I look like I've got a black eye. It looks so much better in the mirror. I don't know what happened. This is obviously, I'm obviously not destined to talk about serious stuff and do makeup, am I? But yeah, it went as well as a funeral can, I suppose. Let me just do this side. But yeah, I think for me and my mum, New Year was actually the hardest because, again, like Christmas, she really liked New Year. She loved like any reason to celebrate, really. Yeah, let's try and blend this out a bit, see if it works. So it was really weird, but at the same time, like it felt a bit like we were getting our closure, so that was nice. But yeah, it's just everyone keeps asking me like, how's your Christmas and New Year been, and it's like awful. Like we planned a funeral and then like the first 2 weeks of January I pretty much spent clearing the house. So yeah, I've only actually been back here for nearly 2 weeks now, I think. I don't know. So I've not been back here at my house like for very long, but I'm really glad to be back because like it just I missed having like a nice routine. I've messed it up again, haven't I? I always go a bit too far. But I missed being able to like have a normal routine and just work, because as much as it was good having like some time off to myself, like I hate not working. Like work is something I'm really passionate about, and it was really weird. Why is that bit so blocky? I do not approve. Okay, whatever, we're just gonna fix it with some glitter. So yeah, that was basically how my Christmas and New Year was. People keep asking me, and yeah, it wasn't fun, but it also, I don't know, I'm just glad I was there for it, you know what I mean? Like, obviously with everything going on in the world, like, there was a time where I was like, oh my god, am I even going to be able to get there? Like, I mean, I knew I'd be able to get there because obviously my mum would come pick me up, but there were like rumours of like, oh, they're gonna completely close all like the motorways, and I was like, oh god, if they do that, I am actually screwed. So I'm just glad that I could go, and also that my brother could go. on the day of the funeral, because the thing is, like, I obviously spent a lot of time with her, like, because, you know, I just have. But the thing, like, me and my cousins forget sometimes is that Christopher's 10 years older than me, so, like, for 10 years, he was the only grandchild, so even though I haven't, like, witnessed them spending a lot of time together, they have, and, you know, that's something that I'd never even really considered until I was telling him that she passed, and it was, I'm not gonna lie, it's the first time I've ever seen him, like, cry, and I was like, oh god, like, you really were close to her. I never saw it, but you were, and it just sucks, because he didn't get to see her anywhere near as much as he'd like, and I think that's such a shame, because she was such an amazing woman, and she deserved to see everyone who loved her, and yeah, there's not really much else I can say there, is there? Like, just, yeah. The way it turned out is really frustrating. I was really hoping that she'd managed to get through the pandemic so that we could, like, all see her regularly again. But at the same time, like, and this is gonna sound really bad, but I think people get what I mean. At the same time, I'm just kind of glad it's over, because it was getting to the point where she was surviving, but she wasn't living, you know what I mean? This is bad. I'll work with it. But yeah, I'm just, like, it feels bad to say it, but I really am just glad that, like, it kind of worked out. Like, it's better to, like, lose someone before, like, obviously you want the time with the person, but it's better to, like, lose them before they get to the point where they're in pain, especially if they are aware of what's going on, which she was, like, she was fully aware. So I'm glad that it didn't get to the point where she was in complete agony and couldn't do anything, because that was my worst nightmare. That was, like, the last thing any of us wanted. Okay, how's this eyeliner looking? I really should have done the eyeliner before the glitter. This whole glitter thing's new to me, I'm not used to it, so weird. Woo, glitter. So yeah, if you're wondering how my Christmas and New Year went, it was sad. But I'm looking forward to being able to sort of start to move on, and I'm looking forward to making 2021 an amazing year. I'm going to be releasing new music, some very soon. There was a song that was obviously, as most people saw, meant to be released in December. This is why it didn't get released, if you're wondering. But that will be out soon. I'm just finishing some last details. And Orange Melody Deluxe version is now available on iTunes and should be on Spotify very soon as well. And yeah, I'm just excited to get back into things. I've been really focusing on my art lately as well. For those of you who don't know, I do have an art store. Etsy, go search Melodique Art. That's kind of like how I've been trying to get on and pay the bills, because the thing is, like, when I say I miss cons, people are just like, oh yeah, I miss my friends too, and I'm like, obviously I miss my friends, but, like, I can't lie, I also do miss the money aspect of it, because, I mean, it did pay the bills, and obviously, like, I'm not the kind of person to be like, oh, I do this through the money, but, like, at the same time, I would like to be able to have enough money to live, you know what I mean? And it's been weird having, like, this, I'd gotten used to this, like, income, like, paying for stuff, and, you know, now it's gone. So, yeah, if you would like to help a starving artist out, please do a commission or buy something from my Etsy or buy some of my merch, my idol merch. I've started selling checkies, which you can either buy one-offs of, or you can like buy a subscription. Because people said that that'd be a cool idea, so I was like, okay, let's do it. So hopefully people enjoy that. I think it's looking a bit better now. I also don't like how like HD my camera is. It's like, it's a bit too high quality for me. Shows all my imperfections. I don't like it. Okay, so I'm gonna leave my ring light on for a second just to show you how it turned out. And then, yeah, you have to put up with the ring light and my glasses. So yeah, this look, we're not gonna talk about this look. But in general, yeah, this video was very hard to make. Don't worry, I'm not gonna start making lots of makeup videos. I know it's not my strong suit, but I figured this would be like the best way for me really to be comfortable like talking about it. Because obviously like it's something that it's difficult to just sit and talk into a camera about, so I wanted to like be doing something to like take my mind off of it. Also my hair is still wet, so sorry I can't like straighten it properly. But yeah, I hope people enjoyed this video. I'd not enjoyed, but like, I don't know, maybe this video will be helpful to someone, like, I don't know. I hope so. It'd be nice if my video helped someone. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to show really what's been going on. And yeah, now I'm just gonna show you some cat videos and fireworks.
Thank you so much.